Hi friends, welcome to today's lockdown lunch break short video. Today we're going to focus on the glutes and hip stability. So these areas of the body right in the center, so your glutes, the muscles in your backside, the stability of your pelvis, it's all very important for preventing low back pain. If you've got a more stable pelvis, the back's got better support. If you've got a stronger core, the back's got more support. Often the glutes and the hip area gets very tight, but it's also very weak because we don't use these muscles enough and we spend too much time sitting on them. So we're going to start with a bit of stretching and mobility work, so get things freed up a little bit if you've been sitting down for a long time. We hold a lot of stress in our hips as well. That can be an area of real tension building up. So we're going to try and free that up and get it nice and mobile, and then we're going to do some strengthening for it. It's just a short video, so we'll just go over some good glute strengthening exercises and a little bit of core work. So first of all, starting with a focus on mobility, lying down on your mat, give your knees a big hug, have a little rock side to side. So just bring yourself into your space, let go of the day that's happened so far, whatever's on the to-do list later on. Focus on how the body's feeling. Take a big breath in and out. And then with the hands on the knees, just start to move the knees in and out from the chest. Just to start to get a little bit of movement happening in the body. And then with the hands on one hand on each kneecap, just circling the knees away from one another. So we start to free up the hip joints. Let the legs go nice and heavy. The arms are doing the work. Other direction. All right, let's put the feet down on the floor as wide as the mat. Just drop the knees from side to side. Windscreen wiper the knees from side to side. Get that mobility and movement in the lower spine. Your sacrum at the bottom of your spine, where your pelvis joins on at the side of that sacrum, your SI joint, sacroiliac joint, it's a joint. So we want it to be a little bit mobile. We don't want to be stiff and stuck in one position. So we still want mobile joints. We don't want too much movement to cause instability, but we don't want everything to be stiff. There's a fine line. All right, let's have a little stretch. Cross one ankle over the knee. Just hug the knee in. Take a big breath in and out. And the other side. All right. Bring yourself over to a kneeling position. Step 1 foot forward. Both hands on the inside of that foot, and you're just going to roll through the hip. Let's just roll onto the outside edge of the foot. My ankle goes click, 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 click. And get that movement and fluidity into the hip joint. If you can hear a strange noise in the background, I've got 2 snoring dogs. Other direction. At least they're sleeping. All right, let's give the hip flexors a little stretch now. So prop yourself up, tuck your tailbone under, send the hips forward, reach up, breathe in. Those hip flexors get very tight from a lot of sitting, a lot of walking and running. Shift just your weight back so you get a bit of length and stretching through the hamstring. And then let's swap it over to the other side. Step that foot forward, both hands on the inside, and you're just rolling through the hip. So roll onto the outside edge of the foot and get that movement through the hip joint. And you going as big of a circle as feels good. If you're feeling a bit crunchy or clicky through the hip, just make the circle smaller. Or if it really doesn't feel good, don't do it. You can prop yourself up into that hip flexor stretch. So we're going the other direction now. And we prop ourselves up, scoop the tailbone under, send the hips forward. Get that stretch through the hip flexors. Maybe reach up. Breathe. Shift yourself back. All right, let's start with side lying glute exercises. So right down on your side on your mat, resting there on your arm. Clams. Most of you that have done Pilates or our classes will be familiar with clams, or if you've ever had any injury and had to do physio, they've probably given you clams to get your glutes a bit stronger. So the heels are about in line with your bum. Hips stay stacked. The hips are a little bit forward and the chest is a little bit forward. Just make sure that that bottom leg stays glued to the mat. There's no rolling back. So just start to peel the top leg up away from the bottom leg. You only need to go up as far as you can without starting to roll. Don't feel like you need to take the leg up that high. It's just about how far can you lift the leg using this little muscle in behind your hip, the glute med, the main hip stabilizers, the lazy muscle. So imagine a clamshell, open and close, open and close. Go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the bottom leg bent, straighten the top, flex the toes back towards you, lift and lower. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Just hovering that top leg up above the other one, point the toes, sweep the leg forward, so lots of control, a little bit of tone through the belly, and push through the heel on the way back. So there's a lot of control. You're not just swinging the leg back and forth. You're really stabilizing through the hip. Point the toe to sweep it forward, flex to take it back. So we're getting a little bit of strengthening through the hip flexors there as well, the front of the hips. And glute max, so to push back, you're using that bigger glute muscle in the back of the leg. Through the heel on the way back. Last one. Good job. All right, let's flip over to the other side. So same on the other side. Clams first. Hips stay stacked, a little bit forward, chest a little bit forward. Feeling the top leg up away from the bottom leg. Think about lifting from in behind that hip. If it helps, put the hand there. You can put your hand there as a bit of a cue. Just make sure if you do that, you don't start to roll back. So if you feel a bit unstable, put that hand in front. A little bit of tone through the belly. 3, 2, 1. Lengthen the top leg, flex the toes, so point the toes back towards you, lift and lower. Stabilizing and controlling through that hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the toe to take it forward, flex, push through the heel on the way back. Good. Through the heel on the way back. Yep, my glutes are awake now. I've got a bit of a problematic hip flexor. This hip flexor, one of the main hip flexors on this side, likes to tighten up. So I'm not going to do any more because all I'm doing now is just making that hip flexor tighter. So if that happens to you, I will just stop. So if the hip flexor's kicked in, so you feel this tightening through the front of the hip, you're probably just going to make that tighter and not benefit the glute that much. So just stop if that happens. Listen to your body. All right, let's pop ourselves up into all fours now. So we've done side lying, we've got all fours now. Just a little bit of opposite arm, opposite leg balance. So start to engage the core and sync the activation of the core with your breath. So exhale, lift, hug the belly button back towards your spine. Inhale, relax. Exhale. So this is a good balance one. It's a good core one, and you're also using glute max, so the bigger glute muscle, to lift the leg. So really kick the leg back. Tense your bum as you kick your leg back. A little bit of lift through pelvic floor as you lift. So activate the urinary muscles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So in that all fours position, we're going to put a footprint on the ceiling. So keeping the hips nice and level, lifting that leg up. Like you're trying to put a footprint or a dinner plate on the ceiling. So don't feel like you need to take it up so hard that you start to pivot. Up and down, up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same leg, we're going out to the side now. Looking at the top end of the mat. Try not to let the head start to drop. Just keep looking at the top end of the mat. And so out to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's have a little stretch. Push through the heel. That foot, take a breath in and out. Now we'll do the other side. So we'll go the glute extension footprint on the ceiling first, and then you've got the fire hydrant out to the side. Don't really know why it's called a fire hydrant. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same leg, out to the side. If the wrists are getting sore, pop yourself up on fists. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. So we've done all fours, we've done sideline, up into a side plank position now. You prop yourself up like this. The bottom leg, it doesn't have to be at an exact right angle. If I've got mine at that right angle, I get a bit of a click through the hip, so my pelvis doesn't like that position. We're all different. So just reposition that leg a little bit to make it feel right for you. And then we'll just lift and lock, like we did lying down. We'll just do about 5 of them. And hold it up, little circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My glutes are burning. 1 more. Hold it up and then just curl the leg. Kick back. Curl the leg. It's just a low leg that's moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. So you're in that side plank, modified side plank position. And then we're just lifting the lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're feeling it in the stabilizing leg, that's where I'm feeling it now as well. And all glutes are burning. Little circles. 5, 3, 2, 1, and backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we've got 1 more. So you've got that curl. So just kicking it back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4. Yep, glutes are awake now. Give them a bit of a rub, bit of a tap. Let's have another little bit of a stretch before we finish up. So again, lengthen out those hip flexors. As I said, I've got a bit of a problematic hip flexor, particularly on one side. I'm just going to stretch them back out because they were just starting to kick in a bit. Give the hammies a stretch. Other side. Lengthen it forward, breathe. And you can sit back down, just sitting comfortably. Little twist around to one side. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe. And the other side. I think that's enough. Well done, guys. That gives you a good little glute burning break. So get those hips and glutes nice and switched on to support the back for the rest of the day, whatever you've got to do. And there you go. Enjoy your day. And I look forward to seeing you next time. See you later.